I'm Daniel Gonzalez, and I'm an immigration reporter at the Arizona Republic. Today I'm going to be talking about border security and immigration. President Trump is insisting he still wants to build a wall along the southern border with Mexico. Early on, he said Mexico would pay for the wall. Now he's asking Congress for $18 billion to begin constructing the wall and for other border security enhancements. President Trump is also phasing out the DACA program. President Obama created the DACA program to protect dreamers from deportation and provide them work permits to work in the United States legally. Congress is now debating whether to provide a pathway to citizenship for 2 to 3 million dreamers, including the 800,000 who had DACA protections.
Okay, let's go to the first question in this segment. Ms. Westbrook, I think we'll start with you. Can you briefly outline what your view is of what we should be doing to ensure border security in this country at this point?
Well, I think what we need to first do is address the dreamers and protect them. They're in our workforce, they're in our schools, and they're in our military. We need to create a clear pathway to citizenship. Currently, right now, there's no pathway to citizenship. Congress has failed to address immigration for over a decade. It's time we step up. What I see as border security is we need to increase surveillance so we know who's coming in. We need to keep a better record of who's coming in. We can do that by increasing work visas so more people feel that they don't have to hide when they come here. Create more pathways to citizenship and make it so they don't have to sneak in. So that's how I would do it.
Okay. Dr. Tipirneni?
You know, this is a personal issue for me. I'm a first-generation immigrant, Ron. I came here when I was 3, and quite honestly, if it was a few decades earlier, I mean, I could have potentially been a DACA kid. And it breaks my heart to think that these kids are essentially being held hostage and political, partisanship is basically being played at their expense. These DACA kids are the dreamers, are our neighbors, they're teachers, they're soldiers, they're students, they're valuable members of our community. They came here by no fault of their own, and they deserve to be able to stay in the light, out of the darkness, and be able to move forward with their lives and have a path to permanent residency and eventually to citizenship. As far as the wall is concerned, I agree with Senator John McCain. It's not an appropriate use of over $21 billion. And the bill I heard about currently today, again, that's not the Clean Dream Act we need. We need to first address the dreamers and then address these other issues. There are more effective, better ways to handle border security. We are a sovereign nation. We need to protect our borders, but we have to be smart and efficient about how we do that, and the wall is not the answer.
Okay. Next question. President Trump made building a wall one of the central pillars of his campaign. He won Arizona, and he won big in your district. Dr. Tipirneni, are you willing to authorize construction of a wall in any area where a barrier doesn't currently exist?
Look, I would defer that decision to the experts. Talk to Department of Homeland Security and our border agents, the people that are on the front line fighting that battle, making sure our borders are safe. And I would ask them those questions. Where can we help you from the federal government level to make your job more effective, safer, and be a better, better able to accomplish the goal? And I think that's where we have to work. Look, there are amazing forms of technology we could be using. We use drones to look at the other side of the earth. We can certainly surveil over our borders. There's amazing potential for job creation, actually, with forms of innovation there. We need to explore all those options. They're just much more smart. And frankly, when you're looking at a $21.6 billion price tag, there are so many more effective places that money can be used, and I would say infrastructure would be one of the best places, and that would probably help both of those issues.
Okay. Ms. Westbrook?
I absolutely do not support building the wall in places where it is not already. We can use that money appropriately in other areas that are in need, particularly possibly in education programs, so we can create a more educated workforce. I would like Doctor said, to sit down with our nation's experts and find a better way to disperse that money so we can actually move our society forward. We already have drones on the border, but we could have more. So, no, I do not support building the wall.
Okay. Next question, we'll start with you, Ms. Westbrook. Democrats recently forced a government shutdown over, in part, what to do about the Dreamers. And there's about 800,000 folks who fit into this category, brought here as children by their families. Polling suggests that while the public is supportive of the Dreamers, they were not willing to support a government shutdown over that issue. How would you break through this stalemate between Republicans who want a wall and don't want to take action on the Dreamers, and Democrats who want to take action on the Dreamers but won't hear of a wall?
Well, it boils down to communication. As I've been canvassing the District 8 now for over a year and talking to Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, communication is lacking in government. Over the last 11 years, at my current employer, Arrowhead Honda, I'm a sales manager there. My job is to break down barriers and listen to my customers' needs and assess what their needs and wants are and match them up with a vehicle that fits their needs and their budget. That's something I can do efficiently when I'm elected to represent you in Washington, D.C. I have no problem stepping up to talk to Republicans, to talk about some of the things that are important to them. And unfortunately, the government shutdown was forced because there was no communication. We need to bring that back to Washington, D.C., because at the end of the day, we are all humans, regardless of our political affiliations.
Okay. Dr. Tipirneni?
You know, the shutdown was very worrisome, not only because of the connection to not being able to come to a deal on the Dreamers, but because you're putting at risk folks who are counting on the government to deliver services like the military, our veterans, our elderly, our retirees. So that's a really big deal, and it's not something that's to be taken lightly. That being said, I think it's important to hold on to your core values, and you have to be able to make that clear, what you really stand for, and be able to fight for those core values. And I have spent my life working with folks regardless of partisanship, so it's not been an issue about Democrat or Republican or, you know, white or black. The point is, there's a problem. We have to find a solution. Maybe you have a better idea, maybe I have a better idea, but we have to solve this problem. And I would, you know, stay in session, you know, find every possible solution, because there are too many lives at risk, both the Dreamers who are waiting to move forward with their lives and feel secure, and other folks who are counting on government services. And I would hate to think that any of them are put in the middle of that partisan fight.
Okay. We'll close this segment by going to the second wild card question. This one is for you, Ms. Westbrook. You've been very active on social media and received national attention in the LGBT community, but you struggled to raise money in the past. Mm-hmm. You've also struggled to get enough signatures to qualify for mm-hmm. the ballot. You recently noted on social media also that the legal challenge, mm-hmm. Left you unable to post signs mm-hmm. Around the district for mm-hmm. your campaign. This election seems like it's going to be won in Glendale, not in Maryland or Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Realistically, how do you hope to compete when you have so few outward resources and signs of viability?
Well, I have quite a bit of resources. The reason why I haven't raised money is because I actively haven't pursued money. I haven't held any fundraisers for the last year, and right now I'm in front of you today. Because what I've chosen to invest in over the last year is people. I've been active in the community in District 8, doing petition drives for Save Our Schools, holding events for the transgender community, standing up with the indivisible groups locally, sit-ins in our senator's offices, our congressman's office. I've been visually in my community. Instead of investing in money, I've been investing in people. Because at the end of the day, people win elections. People beat money. When people are inspired by me and my candidacy and see themselves, we can beat money.
Okay. Dr. Tipirneni, anything to add?
No, I would just say that, you know, I'm impressed. She's got quite a social media following. That's great. And what I would just encourage is that everybody remember that we're not looking to divide Democrats. Our real fight is with the GOP agenda that's threatening the lives and the security and the future of folks in CD8. And I think that's important. to convey to all of our supporters so that we focus on the real fight.
Okay.